Hello everyone and welcome back to my official The GH24 News YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we begin, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Chase is in the shower as Lynn knocks on the door and tells him she doesn't want to be late. He tries to move her to join him, joking they can be a little late. In the Quartermain kitchen, Lulu drops off a box of Valentine's cupcakes from Eckert's for Rocco. Dante says he should be down for those in the morning. Lulu asks where he is. Dante explains he's at a Academy Valentine's Day grind thing and crashing with a friend tonight. Lulu thinks her idea was a dumb one, and he was just a sprat when he liked these cupcakes. Dante says he still does, but to be honest, he got him these same cupcakes a many times agone. And he slightly touched them. Still, it was because they reminded him of her. Lulu realizes she doesn't know her own son presently. He's so grown up, and all she has is questions. Dante tells her to fire down, so she asks a ton of questions, similar as who his first crush was and how he's doing in academy. Dante answers them and assures her that she'll catch up in getting to know their son. Lulu realizes Dante was right, and she's been so focused on Charlotte that she neglected Rocco. She feels she's failing as a mama, but Dante says that's not true. He apologizes for making her feel like she was choosing between Charlotte and Rocco. She apologizes for being so stubborn and for not giving Rocco what he needs. Dante says all he needs is his mama. Lulu thinks he needs a better one. Dante says she's all Rocco needs, and she just needs to be then and love him. He says Rocco has a light in his eye again that he hasn't seen since he was a sprat, and it's because of her. She thanks him for the Vim talk and asks him to make sure Rocco gets the cupcakes. Dante will and says he'll love them. Dante opens the box and thinks one has his name on it. She says, "Don't you dare," and rushes him. At the Savoy, Portia asks Curtis if his woman gets a hint about tonight's surprise pantomime, but he says she'll have to stay and find out. Trina enters with Kai, and she smiles at her parents. Portia wants to say hello, but Curtis stops her as it's clear she's on a date. Portia is happy for her, as this is a big deal. It's the first time she's seen someone since Spencer. Kai and Trina get a table, and Kai says his teammates say this is the hottest club in city, and he'd to pull some strings to get them in. Trina lets him vapor a bit before admitting she has a concession to make. She reveals she's been then ahead, and her pater is the proprietor. She swells at her parents, who are watching them from the bar. Kai and Trina talk to her parents, and Curtis tells them to be sure to stick around for the surprise musical guest tonight. Spinelli is alone and on the phone with Maxie, who's under the rainfall. He promises to play Cupid for Lucas. Lucas arrives, and Spinelli says Maxie has set up him the perfect Joe. Brad enters, and Lucas hopes he's not his date. Spinelli assures him it's not Brad, and introduces him to Gunther Eriksson, the model. Lucas is lingo-tied by his aesthetics, and Spinelli suggests they snare a table, and he'll cost them some drinks. From across the bar, Brad sighs when he sees Lucas on a date. Brad drinks at the bar, and Portia tells him not to overstate it as nothing likes a sloppy drunk. Meanwhile, Lucas tells Gunther he hasn't been on a date in a long time, and the only reason he's is because of Maxie. Gunther realizes he's not ready, so get his number from Maxie and also call him when he is. Gunther leaves, and Spinelli wonders what's wrong with Lucas. Brook, Lynn and Chase arrive and ask Spinelli where Maxie is. He explains she's sick, and he failed to match Lucas up with Gunther. Meanwhile, as Brad is about to leave, Lucas stops him and asks if he wants some company. They snare a table, and Spinelli spots them and can't believe this is passing. He's over this vacation formerly and wants to leave. Lynn says they just got then and asks Chase what his surprise is. Chase tells her to be patient. He also departs to check on her surprise. Portia tells Curtis what a great turnout this night has been and prodigies if he's ever considered leaving Sunup and coming back then. Curtis says he loves the Savoy, but Sunup gives him the challenge he needs. Nneka interrupts and tells Curtis she believes it's time for their pantomime. Curtis takes to the stage to introduce their guest pantomime, the one and only Chase. Chase tells the followership that his singing career was brief, but he met his woman doing it. He sings a song that Brook Lynn wrote, which touches her. At Carly's, she yells to the girls to help her clean up the mess from making Eiffels, but they don't respond. Jack arrives with flowers and wine for Carly. She tells him the flowers are beautiful and goes to put them in water. When she turns on the gate, it breaks, transferring water scattering far and wide. Jack rushes to stop the leak and ends up soaked. She says she's so sorry. Now, her kitchen is a real mess. Carly thinks she'll no way get a plumber at this hour, and he agrees, but suggests if he can disarm a lemon, he can fix her plumbing. Jack manages to fix her Gamara and admits his pater was a plumber who tutored him many tricks over the times. She likes getting to know the side of him that nothing additional knows. Ultimately, they break out the wine and partake a drink. Lucky meets with Liz outside her place. They head in, and he asks how it went with Anna. Liz says she's going to run with the substantiation and arrest Cyrus. They notice a Valentine's Day cutlet on the table, and Aiden appears with Tobias and wishes them a happy Valentine's Day. He made his mama a cutlet as usual, but he was waiting to see his pater. So he introduces him to Tobias. Liz tells him this case looks amazing, and she asks if he's going to have some with them. Aiden says he and Tobias were actually headed to the Valentine's Day grind. Aiden pulls his mama away and tells her they do have to go to the grind party if she needs him to stay to make her more comfortable. Liz assures him that she'll be fine and to go have fun. Tobias and Aiden head out, and Liz tells Lucky their son offered to stay home and be their chaperone. Lucas prodigies if Aiden is upset they're getting too near, or is questioning his intentions. Liz says he's just being defensive, and he's the only one of her boys who's still living then. Lucky gets it, he hasn't been around, and their son is bothered she could get hurt on his watch. Liz assures him that she'll make it clear she doesn't need guarding from him. Latterly, Liz wraps the cutlet leftovers up, and Lucky tells her she's just as beautiful as the day they met. He pulls her into a kiss. She latterly sees Lucky out, but also, there's a knock at the door. She thinks it's Lucky back for some leftover cutlet, opens it, and finds it's Cyrus. Felicia tends to Mac in his office, as he has been stricken with a migraine over witnessing Sasha and Jason's kiss. He thinks that Jason took advantage of Sasha due to her heartache over Cody and knocked her up. Felicia tells them they both know the heart wants what the heart wants, and Sasha's may want Jason. Mac can't handle it. Felicia assures Mac that Sasha will be okay, and they'll make sure of it. Anna visits Jason in the PCPD interrogation room. She has to release him as his 48 hours are over, but first wants to move him not to kill Cyrus the nanosecond he leaves. She informs Jason she's staying on a leave for Cyrus' arrest and hopes the judge signs off on it tonight. She has the substantiation to connect Cyrus to multiple murders, so they can get justice for Sam, if he lets her do her job. She asks him not to kill Cyrus for her sake. Anna says they've come musketeers, which is clear to a lot of people. So, if Cyrus disappears, also it'll immortalize, there are people above the law grounded on their fellowship or relationship with her. She can't lose the people's faith or that of her officers. Jason understands, but that doesn't matter when they're talking about the bastard who boggled Sam. She understands, but asks him to have faith in her. Anna says she has compromised herself further than she anticipated at this point in her life. He says he has put his life in her hands, and doesn't do that with numerous people. Anna says that's her point, that people know they're musketeers, so if he kills Cyrus also people will suspect she helped him or covered it up for him.